Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going through a couple of tips, a couple of strategies that you can use to improve your AI prompting for image generation. So let's jump on in. So I'm here in Leonardo AI, but honestly, you can use these strategies and these tips for Leonardo AI, as well as really any of the image generation tools. So what does it mean to generate better images? To generate better images, we need to be more descriptive with our language. We need to be able to articulate ourselves. And that's really where prompt engineering comes into image generation. Because the better that our prompting is, the better that we're able to articulate ourselves and express exactly what we are after, the better our images are going to be. So let's go and just do a really quick example. I have been playing around a little bit here, so we're just going to come into Leonardo, and in our prompt, we're going to type in a woman riding a bike. Now, Leonardo's come a long way, and it's important to say with all these things, everything to do with AI technology, this is the worst it's going to be, right? So as it improves, it's going to get easier and easier, and the images are just going to get better and better. And like, look at that, straight off the bat, it is a fantastic image. We've got a woman riding a bike. I think that is probably flawless, to be honest with you. And you could just leave it there, right? But you can see a little bit of the issues with the eyes there and the way that she's looking looks a little bit funny, but that's definitely fixable. We could fix that within the canvas mode of Leonardo. So let's jump out of there. But what if we want to be a bit more descriptive? We want to articulate our words a bit better, and we want to generate better prompts for Leonardo or for Midjourney or wherever it is, right? Okay, well, what we'd want to do is probably jump into ChatGPT. So I'm just going to jump into ChatGPT through Harper here. And let's just come up with a really simple prompt. Let's say, can you describe a scene with and then you put in what you're after, a woman riding a bike with lots of detail. There we go. So that's pretty good. It's quite long. It's very long. Okay, it's extremely long. Let's do that one more time. But let's say, limit to 50 words. Perfect. So let's paste that in there and click OK. I'm getting this a lot. I don't know if it's a Leonardo thing or if it's also other stuff. There was nothing in that prompt about children. So let's paste that again and click. There we go. No. Their filter must just be really stringent. All right, we'll go back out here. We'll come back into Photo Real, generate with this model. We'll change our aspect ratio. We'll change this to raw mode just because we are using complex prompts. No, nothing. That's all right. We're just gonna ask ChatGPT to try again. And if you have any idea why Leonardo is coming up with these filters so much, and if there's a way to turn it off, let me know. It happens every second or third time I'm prompting, so it's a little bit annoying. So that one seemed to go through perfectly. And see how descriptive this is? It's a coastal sunrise, a woman, crimson jacket, riding her bicycle along. Yeah, perfect. Wow, interesting. Now, Leonardo actually knows this already. So they've got a prompt generator here. And this is the next tip or tidbit of information. You can actually just paste in here a woman riding a bike and click ideation. Actually, let's go 8 ideas. And it's going to come up with 8 different ways that we could prompt the AI with this. Because Leonardo knows that the more detailed that we are, the more important that it's going to be. It's going to make sure that what we're imagining in our head is more likely to come into fruition. For example, like if we want a bustling city, it's going to be very different to an urban image of a woman on a BMX and graffiti covered ramps. That's awesome. That's completely different to this one. Let's try this. Okay, I have no idea what happened there. Look at that. That is crazy. This tends to happen a lot with Leonardo, and this is the reason that they have, when you jump in here, you're able to add negative prompting. Negative prompting is amazing for this, and we're going to cover this in a future thing. So make sure that you stay till the end of the video because we'll cover negative prompting and how to deal with this type of thing. It's a great image except for the fact that the hands are just everywhere and it's weird as hell. This one here, the head the wrong way around. Legs are doing some weird stuff. Ultimately, it's generated what we were after, but it's just not very nice. There's no way that you'd ever use that image. So let's see if we can fix that. So maybe the prompt generator isn't the best thing to do. Maybe using ChatGPT here isn't the best thing to do. Let's jump on to another solution. Another thing is this G prompter. Now this was recommended by a different YouTuber. I'll link to him in the description below. But essentially what you can do is you can go new training data, and then you can come in here and you can actually tell it a name. So let's go Leo prompt, and then we can actually select what type of prompting. Now this is built for Midjourney, but it's going to work very similar to the other methods that we've had. So we select the different things that we're interested in. Sports, maybe fashion or portraits, because we're using people and we want to actually, have nice composure of the face and everything like that. And also street, because of people. And then we can select maybe photorealism and punk, and we'll need to add some training data. So what we're going to do here is we're actually training it. We're training this G prompter with some prompts that we think have worked really well. So let's come over here. We're not going to use that one for sure. Let's come back to the community side of things. This one is wonderful. And you can see here, it's very detailed, right? It's got here light blue eyes, blonde hair, French, beautiful woman, mid shot. It's not just saying a woman standing in front of a camera. So let's copy that prompt. Then we come back over here and we can train G prompter with this prompt. We can get another one. This one's great. And you'll notice in that prompt right there, they actually reference the camera. And these are things that you can actually do within Leonardo. You can put things in brackets, for example, bokeh. Or you can say, I want some film grain. I want it to look like a raw image or 8K UHD. So let's keep coming down. We're just grabbing a heap of different samples and training this model. It's 4, we need 5. We get one more. There we go. Okay. Let's go a woman riding a bike. We can select the artistic styling, which is nice. Now these aspect ratios are for Midjourney. We don't need that. So we're going to click submit, and here's our prompt. So you can see here, it is very similar to what we're getting out of ChatGPT. It's very similar to what we're getting out of the Leonardo's built-in prompt generator. So if we come to a new one, we generate with this, and sometimes it'll work perfectly, sometimes it won't, like the BMX one. And that's really where negative prompting comes into it. Interesting. So there's 2 women in this one. I don't really know what's going on there, but you can definitely see that model kind of look to it. This photo is great. I don't quite know why she would be riding in the middle of the road like that, but the hand position on the bike is really good, when normally that's something that is messed up with AI. The way the hair is blowing, the sunlight is coming in from the one side, that all looks wonderful. The rendition looks really nice. Now I want to show you the next method that I use, and this one is the one that I use the most, honestly. I've actually created a command within Harper for this. So let's clear our Harper. And if you don't know what Harper is essentially just a way of accessing ChatGPT, but it's able to do it inside the browser, and it also has a series of different commands. You can create commands. It's amazing. You can also interact with the page itself and also navigate to other pages. We're going to have a whole video about that in the future. So I've created a command called Leonardo prompt generator, and I've actually got 2 here for different use cases. We'll go through the first one, then we'll go through the second. So what this prompt is actually doing is it tells ChatGPT all the information about Leonardo AI. It tells it all the different types of stuff. For example, it tells it that, like, if we want to have different lighting, we can call on volumetric lighting, we can call on natural lighting. It tells it that we should use words such as 4K or 8K or 64K, HDR or professional or golden ratio. It tells it all these different things that Leonardo knows about, so that essentially you've got a chatbot that is able to have all the information about Leonardo and craft your prompt into an even better prompt. Now this wasn't a prompt that I came up with. This is something from a different guy's YouTube channel. I'm just collating all the different stuff that has been working for me and sharing it with you, and hopefully that helps you out a little bit. So I will link to his stuff down below in the description. But essentially what you want to do is you want to run that prompt. And if you want this prompt, click on the link to his channel, follow his video, and he's got a link on his website. So he's saying yes, or ChatGPT is saying yes, she, he, it is saying yes. So let's go here and type in a woman riding a bike. And it's going to articulate that perfectly in such a way that we've got a photorealism or photorealistic shot, and then we've also got an artistic shot. So I've actually got two artistic shots here, which is pretty cool. Now you can see all these different things in parentheses. It's got the camera lens. It's telling it that it's a mid shot. It's telling it the lighting that it should have. This is far better. It's far more descriptive than just a confident woman, blah, 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 blah. So let's copy that, paste it into here. And remember, this language here is language that Leonardo already knows. It's the language that the guys that wrote the documentation for Leonardo actually wrote, and the guys that coded Leonardo would have written with as well. Wow, look at that. That is some of my favorite images so far. So it's got the red scarf exactly right. It's this beautiful shot. It's a park instead of a road, which is probably more appropriate for this type of bike. And it's just that golden hour, nice glow. It's just beautiful. You can still tell that she's riding a bike. This is really nice. I think both of these shots are definitely usable, and I think that the quality of these shots are probably nicer than the stuff that we were getting before with just all this other type of prompting. So this is definitely the prompting method that I would use the most. I would definitely use this guy's prompt, which is, you paste this into ChatGPT, it says yes, and then we give it the keyword, and then it tells us the photorealistic image prompt, and it also tells us the artistic prompt. There is a second one though, and I believe it was from the same guy. And what this does is it does a very similar thing, but it actually tells it as well about negative prompting. So, you know how we were getting those issues before about the BMX? Well, let's do that again. But what we can do is we can actually say / person or portrait or photorealistic or all those types of things. Let's do person, and then I'm going to paste in that same prompt, and then let's see what it does. So it's actually going to reply with the prompt that it thinks I should use, and that's far more detailed than what the other prompt is, which is great. Now it says, would you like me to generate a list of negative prompts specific for this prompt? That would be amazing. Let's say yes. Now obviously here you have to turn off photorealism. I would make sure alchemy is on, and then negative prompts. You can paste that in there, and let's see what this does. Now you have to remember as well, we're also using Dream Shaper here as well. So we're not using the photo reel, which is in beta in Leonardo. Wow, that is truly horrible. And that's pretty bad too, even with those negative prompts. So there you go. I personally haven't been using this negative prompt method. I've actually just been turning on the photo reel because it's been doing a really great job. I would probably not even bother with that, to be honest with you. It's interesting and it's good to know that it's there. And it's something that, like, if there's a specific image I really want to capture, but it's just wrecking it, you can play around with those negative prompts to try to get the best thing out of Leonardo. But the method that I would probably use the most out of all the methods I've showed you today is that prompt, which is this one here, where you give ChatGPT all the information about Leonardo, and then you let it create your prompts for you. And as I mentioned before, I will link to that guy's video down in the description below. Check it out and download that prompt. So I hope you found this video useful. If you have, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one.